Hello, everybody, and welcome to F1 Down Under. My name's Hayley,
And I'm Matt.
and this is our race reaction to the Hungarian Grand Prix. Well, what a race to react to. It was one for the strategists, I'll give you that much.
Yeah, certainly lots of things going on. And the weather helped. I think it brightened up,
Yes.
played into everyone's being on the normal tyres. So
Yes. So let's talk about the race start. I'm surprised there wasn't a safety car this race, to be honest.
yeah, it was a little bit. It's a long run into that first corner, isn't it? So there was lots of things going on. Yeah, I mean Lando,
But they were all controlled and got a clean start. And Lando took the lead, then Oscar took the lead, and Max got pushed further back into the field.
Well, it was 3-1, wasn't it?
Yep.
It was 3-1 on that first bend. I mean, I think Lando went a bit. It's like at that other start. He went very aggressive, trying to cut off Oscar, and that invited Max to that open space again.
And then Oscar goes, "Thank you."
Before, and then he couldn't quite squeeze Oscar enough. I think Oscar got the quicker reaction, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Which meant that put them all in there, and ended up with Max going right off the circuit.
Which, to be honest, evasive action is better than a safety car.
Well, yeah, but he did leave the track, but he didn't. He did gain the advantage. He wasn't in front of Lando.
Which then on the team radio was quite interesting to hear, having the.
Yeah, he wasn't a happy bunny, was he, Max?
No, he wasn't a happy bunny. I don't think any of the drivers were happy bunnies this race.
Well, maybe Oscar. We'll get to that. But it did settle down once. I think Verstappen had given that place back.
It settled down until about lap 6 and 7, when the cars that started on soft tyres and were on that strategy pitted. Yeah. And then that shuffled the field up a bit because their tyres had gone, and they put the hards on or the mediums on. And then we waited till about lap 20, 21, 22 when the next set of tyres.
Yeah, I think there was a few people that lost out at those early pit stops. I mean, the ones on the softs were okay. I think but they kind of forced people like Daniel Ricciardo into the pits, didn't they?
Yes.
So because the undercut is big.
It is big here. So, like Daniel covered Magnussen, we think, because he was on softs. So he had to go from, I think, probably red RB on a 2-stop. We're thinking, oh, we'll go 2-stop, but then they were like, oh no, we're going to have to go a 3-stop now.
Well, they certainly went early. I think. I mean, they hedged the bets, didn't they? Because Yuki stayed out for a long time on his mediums, whereas Daniel's
did only 5-7 laps on them.
Yeah, so I think it was an interesting. Yeah, they split it, didn't they? Yeah. Made sense to, but I think that's what caused Daniel to
just lose out. But it was interesting to see the different strategies, and I couldn't have been in a strategist on this race. But it was interesting to see when all the pit stops had come through. I think what would you have done if you were a strategist on this point of view?
Well, I mean, I think Sergio and George and Yuki were kind of like, if you weren't near the front, going long seemed to be the beneficial one.
Yes.
And I think this is the thing, isn't it? Does the degradation of your tyres, how does that compare against your lowering fuel? But I don't know. I'd always kind of go long. Gives you the option. You know, if there is an early safety car, you can still change.
Yeah.
But that's
I think out of all the ones, George and Perez had the best strategy. I think
they made it work the best. Yeah.
And I think the top five had the best strategy opportunities. They might not necessarily made it work, right? But they had I think, probably the best opportunities.
Yeah, I think even the Ferraris went up quite long, didn't
Yeah.
they? So they extended that stint, but then the undercuts were coming in, and there were people countering.
Undercuts, because it can, just one lap can be so powerful, especially if you're in 1 second.
And Lewis undercut
Max twice.
so that was pretty effective.
That's how powerful it is.
Yeah, I mean, that was good to see Lewis get up into third, I have to say.
But so that was the first round of pit stops. So the second round of pit stops.
Yeah, I mean, they were really different, weren't they? I mean, they were sort of. I get people like Daniel Ricciardo went in early. He was the first one to stop, I think,
Lap 28.
for the second set of tyres. So he went really early. I think the others were anywhere between there and lap sort of 50, depending on how many laps they'd already done on their old tyres. So
yeah, the first one I noticed that didn't start on the softs, were on like mediums, was Lewis Hamilton. He started the ripple effect, I would say.
Well, that's right. He went early. I mean, it was quite a long time to go on a set of tyres. Was it like lap 40 or something?
Lap 40.
30 left. But yeah, again, you've got to kind of weigh that the degradation isn't going to be quite as bad because the car's lighter, I guess.
And he put hards on, which, yes, might not be the quick tyre, but it will last longer. And if you hold up that track position and they can't necessarily get past you because they've not undercut you and they can't, general pace can't get past them because it is a hard circuit to pass, then you basically won out because you've done the undercut.
And I think that's what happened. Like Red Bull, I think they thought the performance in the car was better. I mean, they was 9 laps between when Lewis went in for his second stop and when Max went in.
And they were not quick enough to pass him.
Well, he tried, didn't he? Let's face it. If we talk about incidents.
Well, if we talk about the only kind of opportunist moment when Max was gaining, this was about lap 60. So he had 10 laps to go. Max is pushing, probably ignoring all the team radio. And there was an incident with Lewis Hamilton. Now, Lewis is in front. Max has got DRS from behind, only on the main straight. And Lewis brakes late, which he's allowed to do. He's the car in front. But Max brakes also late but he locks up and he hasn't got the car under control.
No, he carried a lot of speed because he'd actually overtaken a back marker as well. So he got kind of double toe down the straight.
So he caused the collision, and Lewis actually braked because he didn't want to cause any damage to his car. And fortunately, there was no damage to either car.
No, I mean, it was quite a big thing, and Max took off, didn't he? So he hit Lewis's tyres.
Yes, but there was no damage to either cars. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I did think
Max didn't get a penalty because even though, yes, he didn't cause a collision or he didn't run off the track, there was, in some respect, a collision.
Well, there was a collision. But ultimately Lewis didn't really get impeded by it. I mean, I'm really surprised that not that he didn't get a penalty, but that neither of them punctured the tyres, given how Lando
because if you
Max
think about it, when like Ocon and Gasly did that in like Monaco? Was it Monaco? Or was it like Gasly or Ocon got the penalty for rising the car?
Yeah. I mean, it was Monaco. Yeah. I mean, Max wasn't in control. I mean, I guess the only thing was maybe they thought Lewis turned in a little bit, so they were both
It's like you're both in the wrong, so we're just going to leave it.
The long and short of it is it ruined Max's race. I mean, he probably could have got past Lewis at that point. He'd already kind of half passed him and then overcooked it, didn't he? So, that was a tense few laps until he bumped. It was getting close. I didn't think Lewis would hang But then you've got to talk about the fact that,
further up the field, which was not more exciting enough, you had team radios going on about, oh yeah, I'll give Oscar the position back if he catches me.
Yeah, well,
and I'm like, seriously, guys, you gotta like.
Well, they've made an
respect the
arrangement,
team.
hadn't they? They've clearly made an arrangement that they brought Lando in before Oscar because they were worried about Lewis undercutting them. And the idea was to give it back, but in the meantime, Oscar had he'd gone off the track, lost a second or so, which put them really close together before he went into the pits. Oscar went into the pits.
Yeah. But in the end, Lando gave in to his team orders and made Oscar a winner of the Hungarian Grand Prix. So that's very good for us in Down Under.
Yeah, it was nice to see another Aussie get on the podium.
Yes. So we have now Oscar, his first winner, first podium.
I think that's 7 Aussies, isn't it, that have won? Oh, no, that's right. That's 7th.
5 Aussies and 1 born from this century.
Yeah, he's the youngest person, isn't that's right? He's the youngest race winner.
No, he wasn't the youngest. He was the 1 born from this century.
Okay.
Anyway, and we have also Lewis Hamilton, who is the only one who has been on a podium from this century as well.
The winner, the oldest. He's the oldest winner this century. Yes. And also his 200th podium.
Yes.
Which is amazing, really.
And another record broken.
Yeah. He's
breaking records this season. Ironically, as he leaves to go to Ferrari.
And 7th different winner.
Yes.
I mean, that's what So that's the thing. I think that actually that is what's important about this race. If you think about it, both Ferraris have won, both Mercedes have won, both McLarens have won. But in the Red Bull, only Max has won. So, I mean, that's why Sergio's going to be under a heck of a lot of pressure.
Well, we'll have to wait for the Belgian Grand Prix to find out.
Yep. Last one before the break.
Yes. And we'll see you for the next video to find out what happens. Bye.